Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Lorenzo Lati here of LEGO SpongeBob and Clay Kremling, and welcome to the LEGO SpongeBob Q&A. I just want to say right off the bat, thank you guys for leaving your questions in the comments of the last video, and for checking out my Twitter and Instagram. And just in case you haven't already, you can find my tags in the description. Please go follow me so you won't miss any updates on the future videos. Sorry if I missed any of your comments, but regardless of whether they made it into the video or not, thank you for your contribution and thank you for making this video possible. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Q&A. To start us off, we have a comment from everybody's favorite YouTuber. Him ya name is Jason, and he or she asks, how long have you been doing this? Now, to be perfectly honest, I do not exactly know what they meant by saying this. It's a tad bit vague. But if we're talking about the date in which I first started uploading videos, then approximately June 17th, 2013. But I actually have been doing stop-motion animation for much longer than that. When I was a little kid, I was introduced to a film, you may have never heard of it. It's called Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. I remember distinctly that after the film ended, I rewound and watched it from the beginning again. And after it ended again, I proceeded to rewind and watch it from the beginning a third time. You can probably guess that after that day, I was determined to learn how to do stop-motion animation. Particularly claymation, seeing as I also grew up with the Aardman animation films, such as Wallace and Gromit. After getting a laptop, I was finally able to pursue my dream of making stop-motion films, making dozens of short animations over the next few years. Unfortunately, at the time I'm recording this, many of them are lost. Hopefully, not forever. Moving on to the next question, we have Animation Random asking, LEGO? This is a question that I've been getting asked ever since I began making YouTube videos, and I do want to confirm, after all these years, yes. Matthias CHP, sorry if I said that wrong, asks, where did you get the idea to make these stop-motion SpongeBob videos? Well, strap yourselves in, everybody, this is going to be a long one. Well, like I said before, when I was a little kid, I became a huge fan of stop-motion animation. And when I wasn't animating with clay, I was animating with Legos, considering that I was a huge fan of Legos. I mean, who wasn't as a kid? I was also a really big fan of SpongeBob. I didn't have TV as a kid, but we did have VHS tapes. And I have so many great memories of watching SpongeBob VHS tapes over and over. And eventually, I remember going to the toy store and seeing SpongeBob-themed Lego sets. And my young little self wanted to get my hands on every single one of them. After getting a few of the sets, I built a little Lego SpongeBob world on a desk that we had downstairs, where I would play with them for hours on end, even going as far as to reenact real SpongeBob episodes with my Lego sets. Cause you see, I had watched my SpongeBob VHS tapes so many times that it got to the point where I had committed the episodes to memory. And I vividly remember one particular day where I was reenacting the episode opposite day with my Lego SpongeBob sets, and I thought to myself, if I'm going to reenact the real SpongeBob episodes with my Legos anyway, why not turn it into a little short film so I could enjoy it over and over? So I had my grandfather come over one day to film me reenacting the episode with my Legos, but I wasn't entirely satisfied with how it came out, because it didn't look quite real enough. So I decided to put my stop-motion skills to the test, which resulted in the video LEGO SpongeBob Rock Bottom. This was the first animated LEGO SpongeBob video I had ever made, and it really shows. We have this tiny closet in our house that's under our staircase, and that's where I animated the whole thing. I'm not kidding. Despite how archaic it looks by my new standards, this would lay the groundwork for what my YouTube series would be, and it would only improve as time went on. I had so much fun making that episode that I thought, well, why not make more? So I would go on to make Lego SpongeBob Plankton, Boating School, Roller Cowards, Hall Monitor, Sleepy Time, and SB129. Like I said before, I had watched the original episodes so many times that I had committed them to memory. So when you watch these old videos, the dialogue was not read off of a script, it was just all from my head. Actually, you might be able to tell sometimes. Nowadays, I do read the scripts for the episodes, just to make sure that I get everything down and don't leave anything out by accident. I had made these original Lego SpongeBob videos for my own personal enjoyment. I didn't think they would ever be up on YouTube. But after noticing the trend of Lego SpongeBob content on YouTube, I thought, well, why not upload my videos and be part of that crowd? And even start a series so I could have an excuse to make even more episodes. So, I had uploaded my original Lego SpongeBob videos to my channel, with the exception of Lego SpongeBob Rock Bottom due to it being lost at the time. Oh boy, I did not expect to go this in-depth with this answer, but I do think that the story of how this channel came to be is a humble one, to say the least. This channel was purely a culmination of a kid's love for Legos, SpongeBob, and stop-motion animation. Connor White asks, what is your favorite SpongeBob episode? Unfortunately, this is a question that I don't think I'm able to do justice. There are just too many good ones. I may not be able to pinpoint which SpongeBob episode is my favorite, but I can tell you what my favorite era of SpongeBob is. And that, without a doubt, would be the Golden Era. Seasons 1 to 3, with the addition of the first SpongeBob movie, are just masterpieces. I like Season 1 for its simplicity, color palette, and laying the groundwork for one of the best shows ever made. SpongeBob Season 2, although I don't like the animation as much, it's very desaturated and dated looking compared to Season 1, has some of the absolute best episodes in the series. When this season is not throwing consistently good episodes at you, it is throwing all-time classics at you. And I do believe that Season 2 is the pinnacle of the show. But that's not to say that it's better than Season 3. I will admit that Season 3 of SpongeBob is probably the season I have the most nostalgia for, but similar to Season 2, Season 3 is also consistently good, and contains probably some of the most quotable episodes. And I do believe that the 2004 SpongeBob movie was the perfect way to cap off the show. I would talk about the SpongeBob movie right now, but we have a lot of questions to go. Maybe I'll do a review on these seasons of SpongeBob and the SpongeBob movie sometime in the future. Italian_Scout asks, do you like Squidward? You know, Squidward is actually one of my favorite characters in SpongeBob. Squidward is a character that has a negative personality, yes, but he's also a character that's constantly trying to strive for success and happiness in his life. He doesn't have a lot of people to relate to, considering that he's surrounded by so many bizarre characters. Characters who are constantly condemning him for being negative. But when you take into consideration that Squidward is constantly trying to pursue his dreams and put himself out there and master the things that he loves to do, only to be rejected and humiliated over and over and over and over, while the people that oppress and harass him rise to glory. Like, I don't know, man, if I put myself in his shoes for, I don't know, 1 second, then yeah, of course I feel sorry for him. There is no better way to sum up the bad writing behind Squidward than by displaying the contrast between one episode and the entire rest of the series. There is an episode of SpongeBob that is widely considered to be quite possibly the best episode in the history of the show. And that episode is Band Geeks. This episode is a perfect example of how Squidward's character can be done right. I'm not even going to summarize the plot because chances are you've seen this episode already. And yes, it's an episode about Squidward struggling. He tries and fails, and tries and fails. And it gets so hard that Squidward has to give up. But then the other characters acknowledge the sacrifices that Squidward has made. They put themselves in his shoes, and commend him, and are inspired by him. And at the end of the episode, Squidward's hard work pays off, and it's without a doubt the most beautiful moment in the entire show. And then you have episodes like Are You Happy Now? Which make me want to actually die. Man, this topic could make a good video in and of itself, but right now we have a Q&A to do. Animation Theory asks, how do you get such good lighting in your stop motion? Well, in my experience in stop motion filmmaking, there are several rules that I learned over the years that help me achieve the best possible lighting. It may be a good idea to invest in a good camera. For many years of my animating for YouTube, I used a little Logitech webcam for my animations, and the problem with webcams is even though they're cheap and affordable, they sort of have a mind of their own, and they automatically focus and adjust lighting to whatever's in front of them, which would lead to a lot of light flicker in my animations. So in 2017, I invested in a new camera to shoot my animated films with. I animate all of my new videos using a Canon EOS Rebel T5i. It's a wonderful little camera, and I have made dozens of wonderful films using this thing. Eventually, I will retire this camera in favor of something that can shoot at a higher quality, but for now, I think that it gets the job done perfectly. Also, make sure that you are filming in a place where you can control the light as much as possible. Ideally, a room with no source of sunlight, like a basement. The problem with sunlight is that the sun is continuously moving, which would be the equivalent of shooting a stop-motion film if your lamp was constantly tipping over, and yeah, you see the problem here. There's a lot of other nuances that I don't have time to talk about here, so you can probably check out some tutorials on YouTube. Roots Anth asks, what is your dream job? Oh boy, that is a $1 million question. I am 19 right now, so that's kind of the age where you're still figuring that out. At one point, I thought I wanted to be a YouTuber for a living, and at another point, I thought that I wanted to make stop-motion films for a living. But right now, there are still many things that I would like to try to see what I could make viable for a job. At the time I'm recording this, I would like to do something for a living that involves sculpting, animating, acting, or performing. I would like to have a career that involves both my art and my passion for entertainment. There are so many things that I just cannot wait to pursue and try, just as soon as our world adapts to this whatever it is we're all in right now. DJ Thompson asks, which episode did you enjoy making the most? This is a question that I've been getting asked a lot for this Q&A, and the short answer is I don't really know. You have to take into consideration that I've made over 100 of these things at this point, so pinpointing which episode I enjoyed making the most would be too great a task. I think my favorite episodes to make would be ones that deviate from the typical LEGO Spongebob episode setup. Examples of this would be episodes that have crazy sets like Sleepy Time or SB129, or episodes that have claymation in them like Gary Takes a Bath or Pressure. But right now I have a certain episode idea that hopefully, when it's finally complete, will be another candidate for this list. Mr. Red Stickler asks, in the future, do I plan on doing other LEGO animations that aren't SpongeBob? No, I do not. If I'm not going to animate with LEGO SpongeBob figures, then I would much rather animate with clay. Also, LEGO animations are and always have been very popular on YouTube as is, so if I were to do some animating that was not LEGO Spongebob, I would rather make something that's more distinct and better displays my animation potential. Though I will give you a fun fact. At one point, I wanted to start doing a LEGO Ed, and Eddie YouTube channel show thing, and then at another point, I wanted to start a LEGO American Dad show. Obviously, both of these concepts never came to be. I think it was just because I really got into those shows when I was in my early teens. Zame Productions asks, do you get any assistance while making the videos? No, I do not. Everything you have seen on this channel so far has been made by me, and it is just so much work. Right now, I'm working on changing that, though, by bringing on an apprentice animator. And I was having good progress, but, it's kinda hard to have help right now with a certain illness going around. I really hope that I can have some help making these videos soon. Adam in Friends asks, why do I hate the Krusty Krab training video episode? Just a little introduction, the Krusty Krab training video came out in Season 3, the golden age of the SpongeBob show, and it is universally regarded as one of the best SpongeBob episodes of all time. If you go to almost any best SpongeBob episodes countdown list, chances are the Krusty Krab training video is going to be on it. However, me personally, I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. First off, I just want to say that I don't absolutely hate this episode. There are way worse SpongeBob episodes than this. But the reason this episode annoys me in particular is because with all this critical acclaim, there's just something about it that I feel like I'm missing. Like there's a certain element to it that's just not clicking with me. The narrator's voice is so obnoxious and annoying that it drives me crazy, and I think that the jokes are meh, and I don't think that the script is as clever as it thinks it is. And oh my god, the ending. I just hate the ending in this episode so much. This is another example of the script thinking it's really clever, but I just personally don't think that it is. If you think that it's a funny joke for the episode to abruptly end just when we're about to find out what the secret formula is, then that's okay. But in my humble opinion, I just think it's a cop-out ending. If you guys continue to ask me to make this episode, maybe I will someday if it, would do good view-wise, but in the meantime, I'm gonna continue to put it off. Quaname asks, can you do the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes? In the past, I didn't want to do the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes because I thought they weren't that good, but looking at them now, they actually aren't too bad. Personally, I just think that the first two Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes are meh, but Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3 and 5 are classics. I would love to make those two episodes, but then I think maybe people will get upset if I skip over 1 and 2 or even 4. I would like to skip certain Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes just to make others, but then again, I don't know how passionate everybody is about certain episodes and if people would want me to do them all chronologically. But then, if I do make them chronologically, well, that's a big commitment. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do. Kirby Unknown asks, what made you come back to LEGO SpongeBob? Okay, so this is kind of a long story, and I feel like if I were to talk about it now, we would be here for a while. So I feel like maybe I should just save this for another video. Season 411 asks, will I make episodes from any of the newer seasons? Personally, yeah, I'm open to making episodes from the newer seasons. I just prefer to stay with the golden age of SpongeBob. It is true that back in the day, I did make clips from the newer seasons, even like the second movie. And to be honest, I don't really know why I even made those. I think it was because I was like falling behind schedule or something. I just prefer to stick with the golden age of SpongeBob episodes. And then there's also the fact that I don't watch the newer seasons, so I would have to get into those even though they're made for a different generation of kids, and I just don't have any real interest in checking them out. To me, the latest seasons of SpongeBob don't even qualify as SpongeBob. Actual SpongeBob was the first 3 seasons and the first movie. Everything after that only exists out of obligation. SpongeBob is Nickelodeon's golden goose and nothing more, which is why right now they're working on arbitrary spin-off shows and even a 3rd movie just for the sake of flexing the SpongeBob IP. Rodolfo Garcia asks, what would I do if I didn't make LEGO SpongeBob videos? If I wasn't making LEGO SpongeBob videos, then I would definitely be devoting my animation energy to other projects. I have so many ideas for claymation short films that I just don't have enough time to get around to all of them, and in any other case, I would just make the time and make the films, but making my claymations doesn't pay the bills. At least I can get paid to make LEGO SpongeBob videos, and I would much rather do that than work at a job that's draining, pays terribly, and just wastes my time. Norse asks, have I ever received a copyright strike from Viacom? I am happy to say that I have never received any copyright strikes on this channel, which is a good thing, and in YouTube 2020, well, go me, I guess. Watch YouTube accidentally delete my channel right after I post this video. Lego Mixels asks, what is my favorite show besides SpongeBob? I actually don't know because I'm not that big of a TV show watcher. I'm more of a fan of films because films are more condensed and don't require as much commitment. Also, I'm just a really big fan of film in general. But that's not to say that I didn't see some great shows over this past year. Dark Crystal Age of Resistance was wonderful and a total nostalgia trip. It's a real shame that that show didn't get renewed for a 2nd season. Beastars was good. One Punch Man was absolutely great. I watched the show like 3 times. And I watched the Breaking Bad shows over this year. Which leads me to my greatest announcement yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually not bringing back LEGO SpongeBob, but instead I'm going to start a new YouTube series called LEGO Breaking Bad, the show where I will recreate the entire series of Breaking Bad with my original animation and voice acting. It's gonna be so good. Studbud Films asks, thoughts on the 3rd SpongeBob movie? Well, I don't really have many thoughts of it. It's just, I really don't care about it releasing that much. I guess the animation looks good, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of worried that it's just gonna be another sponge out of water. If I were to see the 3rd SpongeBob movie, it would only be out of curiosity and to appreciate the animation work that went into it. I guess we'll have to wait and see what I think of it. Nerds of a Feather asks, what is the current state of my other channel, Clay Kremling? You know, it's funny, this is another question that I have been getting a lot of for this Q&A, because I did devote a lot of time to the Clay Kremling channel during my absence from LEGO SpongeBob, and right now there is no content in development for Clay Kremling, because if I'm gonna return to LEGO SpongeBob, then I'm gonna have to put all of my resources into LEGO SpongeBob. I make these videos on the same desk that I made Clay Kremling videos on, and I only have so much room to spare. I was surprised to see so many people ask me about if I was going to make more Clay Kremling videos, because I didn't think anyone would really care if I had stopped, due to the lack of success that series had. And it's a shame because my expectations for where the Clay Kremling show would go were very high, and I had a lot of ideas for it, but you can only take on so many projects at once. Lloyd Torres asks if I could make a behind-the-scenes video of how I animate LEGO SpongeBob videos. That sounds like a pretty good idea, and I would like to do that in the near future. I would like to diversify the content that comes out on my channel in general, and I think a behind-the-scenes video or series would be a fun idea to try. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. Mario and Sonic Plush Village asks, who's your favorite character to voice in the series? That would probably go to Plankton. Unlike Patrick, who has a very deep and booming voice, Plankton's is a bit more throaty. I just sort of find it fun in general to voice such an over-the-top villain like Plankton. Amojamar, I don't know if I said that right, asks if I could do remakes of some of my older videos, examples being Sleepy Time and Roller Cowards. I would certainly be open to doing that. For those of you who have been following this channel for a while, you would know that remakes are not uncommon to see on this channel. I like doing remakes. I see them as an opportunity to show how I've improved over the years. Sometimes I'm not sure whether people would get sick of me doing remakes, but considering the positive reception that many of the remakes I've done so far have gotten, I don't see any reason to stop. I think just as long as I keep doing adaptations of episodes I haven't made yet, then there's no reason to stop doing remakes. Roncel says, "Are you from Brazil? Because your name looks so Brazilian." Roncel, you are a man of culture, because I am of Italian and Brazilian descent. So yes, that may explain why my name is so Latino. Maybe in the future, when I get better at Brazilian Portuguese, I'll re-record all of my LEGO Spongebob videos in Brazilian Portuguese and re-release them. That would probably be a good way to broaden my audience. Zemos Stuff asks, why did I private the video LEGO Spongebob Sailor Mouth? The reason I put this question in this video is because I actually just made a remake to LEGO Spongebob Sailor Mouth. Filming is all done and it's mostly edited, and it will debut next year when the new line of LEGO Spongebob videos starts being released. I privatized the original video because due to all of the hiccups that had been going on with YouTube over the years, I wasn't sure if that video was in danger, and I'm still not sure if that video is in danger of getting flagged or getting demonetized, mainly because of how I handled the implied swearing in the video. This channel has a good history of not getting any videos demonetized or flagged for one reason or another, and I guess I'm just trying to keep it that way. There's one side of me that thinks, well, the video's probably okay to put up, but then there's another side of me that just isn't sure. Wahoo asks, what have I been doing this past year? Well, probably like the rest of you, my plans this year had a big wrench thrown into them. I had a lot of plans and resolutions for 2020, and unfortunately, a lot of them didn't come to be. And I think you all know why. I like how after all of my years of doing animation both on this channel and on Clay Kremling, when I finally decide to take a break, take some time off, and pursue other interests, I had picked the worst possible year probably within the next century to do so. I'm just hoping that things will go back to normal soon. Even though I haven't made any animations this year, well, other than some LEGO Spongebob videos right now, I've been doing a lot of sculpting this year, and it's been really good. For those of you who don't know, I'm a sculptor, among other things, and here's my Instagram profile. It's sort of my portfolio, I guess you could say. I'll leave a link down below. Anthony Sandoval asks if I could do the episode, I'm Your Biggest Fanatic. Up until now, I've refrained from putting episode requests in this video, obviously because of the volume of requests I get, but I want to clarify what my thoughts are on the episode I'm Your Biggest Fanatic. I'm Your Biggest Fanatic has probably been one of my most requested LEGO Spongebob episodes to make, and I just want to say that I hear your requests, and there is a reason that I have not made the episode yet. You see, for these new LEGO Spongebob episodes, including the ones in 2019, I wanted to recruit some guest stars who would make special appearances on the show. And I'm actually doing that right now. I've already recruited fellow LEGO Spongebob YouTuber Crazy Films to make a special appearance on the show, and I've gotten in contact with another LEGO Spongebob YouTuber, Hack. I want to make it very clear that you do not have to be a LEGO Spongebob YouTuber in order to be on this show. Other than Crazy Films and Hack, I'm just looking for talented YouTubers to make an appearance on the show in an effort to bring our audiences together. So if I am to make the episode I'm Your Biggest Fanatic, ideally I would like to bring a big YouTuber on board to be casted as Kevin the Sea Cucumber. Kevin the Sea Cucumber is a very big role, he's a non-recurring character, and I think that with the right YouTuber to come and voice him, it would make the final video so much better. Better than it just being me doing another voice. So if you're wondering when LEGO Spongebob I'm Your Biggest Fanatic will get made, well, the short answer is, as soon as I get a YouTuber to voice him. Seeing as this video is running on half an hour long, I think it's about time that I get to my last 2 questions. I'm not going to attach these questions to any specific commenters, seeing as they are the 2 biggest inquiries that a lot of you fans have had for a long time. Question number 1. Will I make an adaptation of the first SpongeBob movie? I don't think it would take a genius to figure out why making a feature-length LEGO SpongeBob animation would be a massive undertaking. As much as I love the 2004 SpongeBob movie with all my heart, and as much as I'd like to think that I could make a LEGO SpongeBob recreation of that with my own original voice acting, animation, and editing, it just isn't a very viable move to make an animation of that length, with months and months worth of time and energy put into it. If this channel had over 1 million subscribers, I would be way more open to making it, but at the end of the day, I'm still a pretty small YouTuber compared to other YouTubers and even animation YouTubers out there. And despite the following I have, I'm still making videos that are from a bygone era of YouTube. I guess if I was making like $5,000 something a month on my Patreon, then I would also be open to making the LEGO SpongeBob movie, but I seriously doubt I could get that big of a following on Patreon. What I'm trying to say is I like the idea. It would be really, really hard and take a ton of work and resources, but if I honestly thought that I would get a decent return on the amount of work that I would put into a LEGO SpongeBob movie, then I would make it. But right now, I'm still a channel with under 200,000 subscribers, and even though that's a healthy amount of subscribers, it's not enough to warrant my making a movie. I cannot stress enough that this is not me begging for subscribers or complaining that I don't have enough subscribers. I'm simply stating the facts combined with my logic. I'm not saying that the LEGO SpongeBob movie will never happen, I'm just saying that right now there isn't enough incentive to make one yet. And our final question. Will I do a face reveal? Well, you know what, guys? I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I like the idea of me doing a face reveal on this channel, and I really do mean it. This channel has a lot of history behind it, and you fans who have stuck with me over all these years, I can't thank you enough for everything that you've given me, and all that you've taught me. So after all that we've been through, I do believe that giving this channel a face would be a good thing. I think it would bring the relationship between me and you guys to a whole new level. So far, this channel has been faceless other than my LEGO avatar that I've used in the past. And I want to start making changes to let you guys know that I'm not just the LEGO SpongeBob YouTuber. I am a person who does a lot more and wants to accomplish a lot more than just starting this YouTube series. So, Lorenzo, why haven't you done a face reveal already? Why don't you do one right now in this video? Well, you see, my perplexed viewer, I want to do a face reveal, but just not right now. This face reveal has been a long time coming, and I want to do it when this channel is on a high note. And right now, I don't think we've reached that high note. I've been away for over a year, and I have a lot of work to do first. I have a lot of episodes to make, and I gotta get my audience reinvested in the channel again. I want to make this comeback very, very memorable, and I would like to make the face reveal sort of be a celebration almost for how it goes. I guess that's the best I can explain it for now. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for asking me your questions and for watching this video, unless you skim through it. Never mind. Even if you skim through it, it's okay. I'm just glad you're watching right now. This was a very long video, yeah, sure, but I figured if I didn't post for over a year, I might as well make the Q&A more than substantial. I hope all of you have a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you guys in the near future. But right now, I have got a lot of work to do. As always, be sure to follow my Instagram and Twitter for updates and behind-the-scene posts, and I hope to release some more commentary videos in the future to fill the gap until the new episodes begin releasing. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for being awesome. This is Lego Spongebob and Clay Kremling signing off.
Yippee! Krabby Patties!
Well, SpongeBob, looks like you finally found your calling.
I'll say, I'm so glad I gave up fry cooking for this.